Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on The Monk and the Gun. It's billed as a drama movie, but it's really a political satire movie about a small country in Asia that converts to democracy and how that impacts society there. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, some of this movie is in English and some is subtitled, but the basic plot is Bhutan is becoming democratic. Its monarch abdicates to Western democracy, a type of Western democracy. And so the movie is about how that kind of impacts the people. And they don't quite understand how it works. It causes some divisiveness within the country. You could see the time period by this TV. I guess this was in the 80s. And part of the plot, too, is a guy comes to Bhutan to buy a rare gun from a monk. It's worth $75,000, but he gives away the gun at the last minute. He's negotiating, he comes up with $75,000 and then gives away the gun to a monk for reasons I don't quite understand. And then part of the movie is the monk is walking around with a gun and they're not sure what he's going to do with it or why he wants it. And then there are other characters who are fighting over politics, kind of, but they kind of don't really understand politics. So there's a moment where someone pushing the democracy says, after this is over, after this election is over, we'll all be prosperous and happy. And the response of one of the people is, but madam, we were always happy. So it's sort of like, well, why do we need this democracy? So it comes in the, it's a satire. It's about how two cultures collide. Now, will Hollywood give us a good view of the Western cultures impeding on Bhutan? I don't know. Kind of not. But kind of at the same time, you'd want them to have a democracy. It'd be better than having a monarchy. But then again, if it's such a tiny country, maybe not. If you have a good monarch. So I don't know. But then again, it's possible to, even in a small country, a bad monarch would take over and waste all the money on himself. And so it looks kind of quirky. The music is a little too epic. It's very emotional. Feels like it's like, whereas I would think this would have been more like comedic in terms of the soundtrack, like wah, wah, wah. Not like that. That's a little too slapsticky, but you know what I mean, like da 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 da, like a little jaunty, like there's a monk and a gun. What's he gonna do? So here they're talking about the gun. What's he gonna do with the gun? I don't know, man. We live in strange times. Is that the same monk? I don't know if it is. I think it's a different guy with a gun. Anyhow, it's like a clash of civilizations in that the old civilization is still pretty primitive, still pretty poor, and the Americans and the democratic reforms are all from very rich people. And so, from the poor person's view, it feels like, maybe this isn't for them because they're just living their lives, but I don't know. Would I see it? It looks kind of interesting. It doesn't seem that funny, and they're billing it as a drama. It doesn't feel like a drama, although the music indicates it's a drama, so maybe it is very serious, but it doesn't feel very serious with the monks walking around with the gun and they're talking about him, but he doesn't shoot anybody. So I don't know. See, it says a wry satirical comedy about democracy beautifully made, says Hollywood Reporter. But they're billing it as a drama movie, and they're playing kind of semi-dramatic music. It's an odd take. I don't know. So first act, Bhutan becomes a democracy, and now at the very beginning, like the monarch abdicates or whatever, and now they're going to have this democracy, and then it's about the quirky government trying to deal with it, trying to educate people, but they're not really getting it in the rural areas of Bhutan. This American comes to buy this rare gun. What are they going to spend all the money on? And then at the last minute, the deal goes south as the old man gives it away to a monk. Not sure why. And then the American pursues the monk to try to get it from him, maybe buy it, but he's a monk. Does he want the money? Will he take it? Will they find them? Will they be able to, transfer to democracy? And then I guess it's about the divisiveness of the politics and what it's doing to this guy's family. I think he's running. People are worried they will never be happy again, or that democracy isn't really right for them. And in the third act, things change and possibly they become more Americanized and miserable, and maybe the message is, well, they were happier in their old ways. But I don't know if that should be the message. I don't really know that much about Bhutan, but if this was played more comedically, I'd be all about it. But that they're billing it as a drama movie on the one hand, but the descriptions say satirical and comedic. I'm very confused. My instinct is to stay away from it. I wouldn't say no to watching it if somebody I was dating wanted to go see it, like an art house movie situation, or stream it, but the trailer kind of turned me off on the whole thing. This is what trailers aren't supposed to do. They're supposed to make you go, this looks intriguing, let me go see this. So if this is supposed to be satirical and funny, the music completely failed. It's just the wrong music for a satiric, funny movie. It should probably be very little music, or, again, what's that classic bit they always play in a comedy movie? That song, I forget what it's called, but like you could have played that in the background of this. Would have totally worked. Would have made it feel funnier. But maybe the makers of the movie aren't confident that the comedy will translate overseas, so they're hedging their bets and hoping that serious hipsters will go see it. I don't know. So a very meh from me. It's called The Monk and the Gun. I love the title, though. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. and Little Joan. Thanks to all who came out to the Bayshore Center in Bivalve, New Jersey, right near Port Norris. Great day. Had some oysters, sold some books. Next up, tomorrow, the Oddball Vintage Show. 90% I'm probably out. It looks like it's going to be rain all day, at least from 11 to 3 when the event was supposed to happen outside. So I'm going to get up and give them a call, but probably 90% chance I'm not going. I think the whole thing might be canceled. However, it will be rescheduled. Oddball does this, I think, every month. So look for me maybe in January or February, coming months, because it sounds like a place I'll be visiting in the not too distant future. Definitely is on the 12th, on Tuesday. I'll be at Christ Care. That's a senior facility at 2 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Hope to see you there. See you tomorrow for the live stream, and we'll see you tomorrow for the live stream.